And good day, folks. Welcome to the program. I am your President Happy Healer for President 2020, Keith Landi. We are fighting for a better America, a better tomorrow. Those chimes are going off. That means we have the systems opening up and, well, we are on fire. And we really are, because we have the ideas that are working for America. It's so exciting. Nobody else is talking about this stuff we are, so we're pretty much having the monopoly on that. And that is a great news, because that means that we can actually have progress in this country. And so we're talking about all of that stuff. We're talking about so much more. But what I want to do specifically today is take you to the website, go over some of the latest updates, go over some of the plans, and be able to just have a conversation like we always do. That's why I come on every day. We're committed to coming on every day at 9 p.m. in case you don't know this already. We also come in at other times. It really is just a matter of the inspiration and what information we have to get out at that point, and the leaps and bounds that I go to fill the role as your President Happy Healer, because we have so much work to do in this country, and you can't just go hiding. You can't just go MIA when people are counting on you. At least that's not the way I learned. Like I said yesterday on our live chat, I said it's about truth, justice, and the American way. It's Superman's values. Those are American values, and we have to get back to that. And, well, in the way like we never were before. Because the truth is, where we're headed is an ascension. Where we're headed is a great new awakening. We're having our own version of a 21st century enlightenment. And that is so powerful. Think, there is no other campaign that offers getting our country on the right track, but taking care of things that meet our times demands. Guys, we're not talking about jumping into the future that shouldn't have been here, or a future that we're trying to conjure up. Folks, this is a future that should be here already. Nature, the very nature and the elements of nature all around us are ushering in this future on its own. But we have to help. Humanity has such power, and when you put the spirit of humanity to work, we can really get things done quick. And we've done it in different points in our history, like I talk about Los Alamos and the city of 50,000 that built the atomic bomb, and they beat Hitler at it. That's right, the free world. And yes, they were trying to build one, and so was Japan, and so were so many nefarious forces around the world trying to hurt America. That's why our freedoms, we have to hold those dear, and it's our love. And remember, it's always the example that we set around the country, the example we set in America for our own lives, and that we do it with love. And we do it with a love for God. We do it with a love for each other and a passion to go forward, to take care of these big items, because people don't. Here's the thing. Your politicians that you're getting in there, they're not extraordinary people. They're not gifted. They don't have any talents. They're not serving the American people because they don't know what to do, partly. They have no vision, partly. And they just want power. They want it for the wrong reasons. We have a lot of issues in America. When you couple all of those problems together with the greed, then you just know how real our times are, how grave our times are. They call for serious people. That's why I have showed up. I am a very serious person. You know what makes them less serious? Is that they're willing to sell out your needs for $1, that they're greedy. They're not willing to put our salvation. They're not willing to put our futures that we've all worked so hard for, that our ancestors worked so hard for, that reality. Black people talk about reparations. All people need reparations. And so I would say they are right. But, well, all people need it. Because you know why in America? It's everybody who has contributed to America's greatness. And the fact is, America is the strongest country in the world, and that didn't come from lack of ingenuity through the American people. That was the very ingenuity of the American people. Some people and politicians will tell you that they are the only ones who can get it done. They will go further and tell you that they themselves were the ones to have done the work. But I always know my job is inspiring, Chief, because you and the American people, together, all of us, we do the heavy lifting and the hard work. And together, we share in the credit and the love and the world that emerges afterwards. This is not a job for one person. If it was, well, then I would just be back home, minding my business, being happy. But the truth is, this is a group activity. Humanity is a group activity. That's why we need community, and that's why we long for each other's company, and we long for attention. We long for a lot of things. And that's exactly what we don't give people. And then they turn to drugs. They turn to whatever open arms they can find, even false love. When people are so thirsty, you know they drink from the sand. And that's what they're doing right now. And the worst part is they think they're quenching their thirst with sand. And in reality, they are so far away from what they should be having. And that's what we're fighting for in this campaign. And that's what we're always going to fight for in this campaign. All right. So we have on the site, that's the next thing we're going to talk about here. And I just want to move things along. It's also important work. And it'll give me an opportunity to talk about some of the things that have been on my mind. Because what I do is on that site, it's so important. This is your portal into my mind, into my presidency, if I'm so fortunate enough to serve. And I have confidence in the American people that it's these real issues that we're talking about that are on your mind. And in fact, I trust that you're going to listen to what I'm saying. I trust that you will give it thought. I also know that because a lot of what I say you've never heard before, that you need time. But after all of that, I also trust that you'll do the right thing for what's best for all of us. Because we can have it. And it's a future that's been stolen right out from under us. And many people think they can do better. Many people think life can be better, that we're living in a past. Many people really feel that going into that past is not something that is bringing back better days, but rather keeping us from the very best days we can have, the rightful days that we're owed, the love and the truth. And somehow, I will say, from the Democratic Party to the Republican Party, to in between, to people who are extreme right and left and center, that people have really gone to a really far degree this time. I've never seen this country in my 40 years of life, and I'm 40 years old. I'm a child of the 80s. I was born in 1978, and I was 21 years old when the year 2000 came, Y2K. And so I was just a young man when 9/11 came. Such a defining point in my life. That's why I will never forget 9/11. It was so paramount in my life. I remember, and so many people remember, but to be 20 years old and just starting in my career and so focused on the outside world at that point in my life, so curious to discovery in 9/11, to rip away all those dreams. It really did have such a huge impact on your happy healer. Oh my God, I remember it just like it was yesterday, like many of us do. And I was running the Boston Market in Ocala, Florida, and what I did is I put up one of those nice big bulletins, and I had hundreds of customers that came through those front doors, and on the very front doors it said Proprietor Keith Landi in Ocala, Florida. And I was 19 years of age when I first got that general manager position. I was very proud of that because while my respective, what would you say, my classmates of my age were all going to school or maybe working, just getting into the workforce. And I was actually a general manager in charge of a multi-million-dollar restaurant, in charge of 50 employees, in charge of all of that at such a young age. And having to run those numbers and doing the profit and loss statements and having to manage all of that. You have to manage a successful business. But I inspired such confidence at such a young age. Not only did I do it, but I made my bosses shine. I got them promoted. And they continue till this day doing great things in their lives. I continue. And that's what life is about. Some of us can do really good just because of our own ability and our own gift from God in this world. And, that's one thing. But that's not the right way. The right way is always with love, and we're tested with that. It's not good enough to say that, I can survive by myself, but everybody else just goes to hell in a handbag. And a greedy world sort of says that's the way to do business. And a greedy world says, well, if somebody is going to let themselves die, well, then you just let them die. And a compassionate world says, we love you. Where are you going? You've got to live hard. You've got to live longer. You got to love stronger. And there's a big difference between the two of those outcomes, folks. And the world that we live in, the one that emerges, is going to make all the difference in your world, trust me. Whether you're saved, whether America's on the right path, whether we're achieving the ability of our true measure, of our true compassion, of our true love. Because those are the values that matter in these days moving forward. The measure of a man's soul is not about the amount of money he can make. You can't eat money. Money itself is not anything, and it can lose all of its value very quickly. It is strictly perception, and that is life in general. Often is perception. You have to realize that, folks. And we're never going to get to the place we all yearn. I hear you. I'm tired of hearing it. I hear the candidates speaking to you, so I hear you. I know what you're telling them and what they're telling you back. And it doesn't make sense. It's not the right way forward, and it's not going to fix our problems. It has no hope of fixing our problems. That's the truth of it, especially considering that we're owed, let's say technologically we are at a 5. Okay? We're supposed to be at like a 50. So how in God's world are we ever going to get there, making these tiny little incremental changes from, we were super, super crazy before, but now we're just a little bit less than super crazy. And the reason we can't make these big strides and change is because people are hanging on to animosity and hatred. Even the people that say they love, they're not talking truth. They're saying they love, but they're not showing it. And, even I might not say it sometimes, but I always show it. And so I wonder, why is it that I can't see it? Well, then it must not be there. So we've really got to fix some things, guys. It's going to be a coming to Jesus. My campaign, another reason why I'm coming on nightly is because, like I said, there's just a massive amount of stuff we got to go over. I don't have time to write 20 books. So we're just going to do media, and we're going to do it every day and all the time. And we're going to get the messages out that matter. And we're going to get the people informed. It would be one thing if we all had the same objective reality in our mind, if we all had the same perception and we all had the same understanding of world events around us. But right now, people that are understanding the truth as it is, and you have to be able to trust you're getting truth, because right now, so many people are so completely triggered and biased, they are blind to their own bias. That's the scary part. And that's when you get into dangerous trouble. Humility didn't get you there, folks. Love didn't get you there. And that's why I'm your happy healer for president 2020, because we got to change all of that around. And if we have any hope at going into the next world, at having a life worth living, then we better wake up on this. And I tell you, as your happy healer for president, I have a special gift. As Keith Landi, I am pulling out all the cards. I am pulling out every last card, but there's going to be times that we even have to pull deeper and get stronger, and I'm pulling and calling upon the happy healer in me, and I tell you to call upon the happy healer in you, and that we get amazing things together. Done! For this country, for the people of this country, for your mothers and for your daughters, for your sisters. They deserve great lives. For your brothers and fathers and uncles and nephews and nieces. Folks, we matter. Your friends, we're all family at the end of the day. If you cannot humble up and get behind a normal citizen who is not your condescending candidate, but who is speaking truth, who does not get triggered, therefore they have the clarity in mind to get the job done for you, then you're not yourself ready for the future that you are banging your head against the wall for. I see you banging your head against the wall every day. That's why I'm here. I said from the beginning, you summoned me. Make no mistake about it. You summoned me the day you got rude and crazy. You summoned me. I say, wake up. Truth is not always about saying everything you want to hear. Truth is about getting to the right place for the people who matter. And that's why we have to have truth. If I was able to pick what was true and false about this world, oh, well, then it would be so much easier. For people who do not have the intelligence, they say if they were able to make this a dictatorship, things would be so much easier. You know what I say? At the end of the day, I just trust in you. And I trust in the truth. And you should too. Okay, so we're going to move. And here it is. This is the desktop. This is how I do my speeches right here. And what we're going to do is I am just going to go ahead and bring over another window. There it is. Open it up a bit. And here's how you get to the website, folks. And if you want to call in, you can. The number's on the screen. You don't have to. I have plenty of agenda here going. I don't have the phone on just yet. I'll give you notice, but just so you know. Now, there it is. So this is it. We had a bit of a update. Well, we always have updates every day, just so you know. And there you go. American exceptionalism repaid. That's the first thing on the site when you come in. And then we have a video right down here, which just is like an opening. Some of you have already seen this video. And just press it and it plays. We have about that's what we do media for, folks. So that you have the ability to be able to help out. And then this is the donate button. And this is for PayPal. Some people don't like using PayPal, so we also have up here the square donate button. And you can click either one of those. If you click it, this is where you end up. And then you just click the donate now. And folks, we need people helping our campaign right now, okay? I'm my biggest donor. I'm the one who puts everything into it. I have the heart. I know that this is work that needs to get done. I have the greatest responsibility because I see the truth. I know that if you've seen this truth too, you would be doing it too. Partly it's because I'm an American. Just like Superman says, I believe in truth, justice, and the American way. So you're at this site. Let me show you how to navigate this site for those of you who don't really know. At the top, that's the header. It doesn't really do anything. It's just to deliver a message and help with optimization of the website. Here you have the home. That's always going to bring you to this front page. On this front page, you can scroll down. It gives you our first mission statement, American Exceptionalism Repaid. This is about doing for the American people. That's why I'm running. Remember, this is a campaign to say that because you matter is why the Happy Healer's here in the first place and that you summoned him. So you must never forget that. And then that American exceptionalism is you, me, and every other American, our abilities to do so much, and that we, quite frankly, can change the world if we use our exceptionalism, our American exceptionalism, and the gifts that God has given us. We can change our own worlds, and we can inspire the rest of the world. And make no mistake, this is exactly what I wrote here. Look, I am reminded by life every day why I am running. I am running for you because greed is taking over our lives. I'm running to replace greed with love and unite our country and to bring us into the new spiritual age of humanity and human enlightenment. That's our agenda. And if I had to run on the agenda those other candidates were running on, I would look boring and not interested too. You know that's how they look. Every last one of them. They look like they're uninterested. And Trump is beginning to look a little confused too. He had a little bit more going for him before in terms of energy. I don't think he said the smartest things. I think he got confused a lot. He definitely lost a lot of his ability to be on top of his game. But he did some good things. He cleared the way for your happy healer. And we can now go in and do such great special work because without him, there's no way we could have gotten in there with the way those... Remember, they want to put those other... We'll never have an opportunity again, folks. I'm a smart guy. Trust me, I could see it. And if you give up this opportunity now, mark my words, you will regret it. You will regret not having had the foresight. You will see these truths at some point. They will become so obvious for everybody. And then what do you do? And then what do you do? This country is quickly heading for a civil war. So many of you, I love you, but you've gone mad. I just love. It's such a burden to be in this world with you guys sometimes. Not because I don't love, I do love. But actually because you don't. But sometimes you say you do, and it's really confusing. Say what you mean. If you hate me, say so I know where to stand with you. And that's what people aren't doing right now. People are just so disingenuous, and they're so nefarious, and they're so greedy. You can't get somebody to make action based on love. Oh, what? You want me to lift a pinky? Why? Because I'm supposed to care? And then you go ahead and figure out your 4-letter word and shoot it back, because that's all they're getting. And that's all they'll ever get in this world. The way it is now, and the values that we promote now, I want to talk to my religious friends. We talk about values all the time, don't we? And let me tell you, the greatest value you can ever have in life is love. The greatest value is to respect the truth of God's world He put right in front of your face instead of just believing in every lie you ever hear. Logic matters. Science is God's science. Unless you're ready to contend and say that science is not a product of God, I believe everything is. And I have faith in God. I believe and have faith, and because of that faith, when you have belief in something or someone or somehow, and God is every bit of all of that, then why are you questioning so much of what He does? His truth is here right in front of you. His truth is here. It's obvious. You forsake it. You break it. You curse it. And you say, why has the world got to be so bad? Well, maybe you just don't know. Maybe you're part of the problem. Maybe you didn't know that. And it doesn't take someone to say that to you hateful, because then you'll never know. You got to hear, well, what do you mean? And people have to explain what they mean. And they have to say where they're coming from. And then when you hear my story and all the pains, it makes no wonder why I have some insight that maybe some other people don't have. And we have to value that insight. And we have to be able to let that insight work for other people. Because when we have people among us who are themselves so skilled and have been able to experience things that would help others, and that they're ignored, and that instead we focus on greedy agendas, greedy people who want to maximize profits and minimize the nuisance of love or anything else. It's just like sometimes how the gay world is, greedy, 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 straight to sex. And, I'm not down with that. I'm down with the love. I really am. And I say enough of all that stuff. I've seen online, well, we're all human and we all have human needs. And this is just as true as it gets. God put those needs there too, by the way. And so, and God made us all. He put the thoughts in us. And of course, God is great, man. He's so great because He is so smart and He gives us the lessons, or she, however, we can't be that judgmental. And the point is that, a lot of people do get judgmental. And I am so certain in my own mind, after having given it so much thought, why would God even make gay people. Well, gay people are so wonderful. They're different people. Without them, this world wouldn't be the same. And that's true for so many people, isn't it? And can you imagine if everybody was just like you? God knew what he was doing. I say trust in God. And, and when we get away from that and we say, no, we can't have grace and respect for our Creator. No. Instead, we have to know all. And by the way, our Creator can't tell us all we need to do is just love and to not judge and to be so loving and happy in life and to do the things that are healthy and wholesome. We're supposed to ridicule and hurt other people and to call them names and to tell them that they are F-A-G-G, you know the words. And the words get worse. And that's okay because, well, you're an abomination to the Bible. That's what they say. You're an abomination to our Creator. You failed God's test. You failed God's test. You better believe you failed it because you failed the moment you used something other than the essence of God, which is truth and love. You decided to delve in that of the devil's energies, hate and jealousy and lies and resentment. That's what you did. So it's okay. We don't have to be hateful in our knowledge. We just have to be courageous in our knowledge. We have to open our eyes and we have to see the truth. And when we do, then we have better days. Then we can unite the loving the way it should be. People who love God. That's what I represent. And my Democratic brothers who deserve to have the same purpose and value the rest of us have. And we do great things for humanity. At first, everybody's doing them for different things. People are just wanting to advance humanity. The religious people are doing it because they feel a very strong attachment to God and that this is strong and right for their salvation. And that the left do it. Many of them don't even believe in God and would tell you that to their face. They do it because they believe in stronger, happier lives and a stronger America. But that we can come together. Even though that we come from two different camps, we can come together for this vision because we know it's so right for America. And that the politicians could never sell us something so pure and something so clear without the nuances of having to hate on others in our society. And we're just simply saying, no, there's not going to be a picking of who's right. Everybody's right. And everybody gets to love. And by the way, the greatest thing is for those who want to go out and seek to accumulate more wealth in life besides that which is the bottom barrel for everybody, you're going to have a protection. You don't just get out on the road and we care. And there's going to be those folks who want more. There's opportunities for you too. But guess what? As you go about building your fortune, you'll feel great about life because you'll know that all the other human beings around you are taken care of. That right now you might have family that they despise you for your success because that's what this world inspires. It inspires greed. Being successful in this world is not successful. I've done it and it's empty. That's how I know. I gave it all away. I developed a drug addiction instead. And that's what happens to our best people. So we just have to think about the kind of world we want to live in. Do you want people like your happy healer dying off so you can have more and more and more of the Donald Trumps and of the other candidates that are running who, honestly, it's been so long since we heard somebody from a political standpoint speak the way I'm speaking. And that's just being straight. But we've had people that spoke with truth and they were brave and they did things for the right reasons. But man, it just seems so long ago. We had Obama. He really gave a lot of hope to so many people. I will never forsake that. And Trump, he did some things too. We can't forsake that. Guys, we have to unite a country. You understand? Do you understand the gravity of that? That you can't just go around hating everybody because you feel that's the right thing to do? That's not the right thing to do, by the way. You have to have a little understanding. It's called humility. We'll get there. We're not going to be on too much longer. So breaking down this site, which is like an encyclopedia and a book in its own right, You'll have to come here and check it out. I will be also coming here and doing a lot more updates on this, but I work so incredibly hard on this site. This site is so special. And if you look here, you can go to the blog, which is like current updates. It's always changing every single day. I have so much more. I mean, the inspiration and the divine inspiration that's coming through to your happy healer is so great right now. So we just have to keep getting this stuff down. And here we go. And you guys too. And that's why I want your words, but so many of you are quiet. And it's okay. I know there's so many of you that just are listening too. There's things you've never heard before, and that you're just floored by some of this stuff. It's okay. And we're going to build that kind of campaign moving forward. And that's the kind of campaign where you really inspire people. And when people see that a campaign like this can win, then they see that the changes can happen. Because no other campaign is like this one. Let's face it. So supporters activate, getting noticed. Right. First thing you notice, there's all these different category headings up here. You can click on any one category heading, and it'll give you more different stories based on that category. And I fill them up all the time, so they're getting so full. And that's just because there's so much, like I said, divine inspiration coming in. And you can click on any one of those. These are updated all the time. They never go away. You can comment on them. You can participate in the discussion. And you can, most importantly, find out where your happy healer, Keith Landi for President, stands on the issues. No other candidate has a website that is this in-depth and serious. I just can't tell you how many of them. Let's go on all posts. This is the one where you can click on that virtually is everything I've ever put out. And the first thing you'll see is the last thing I put out. And the last thing you'll see is the first thing I put out. And so you just have to keep scrolling down. There's just so many things. And you see the dates. I scrolled all the way down here, and it's only on June 17th. So you see we're very active all the time. This is where you need to be coming to for the updates to the campaign. You need to bookmark this website because this is where we're running from. We're running from America. We're in America. Oh, and I'm going to be going around to the different states. I'm going to get to those early states soon. It's a big goal for our campaign. I put it out there, and that's the thing. So this website has a wealth of knowledge for you guys, and you just have to come here and look at it. And so here you have the headings. So you have the home page. That's where we have more wealth of information. I told you, it's like a book, and you have videos and more videos, and then you have videos and more videos, and then you have that's actually the website. The live website plays the live show as we go. See, we're doing things right here. And it's just the way you got to do things when you know that you're fighting for a better life for humanity. Why is it that we have a country so rich, a country with over 300 million people, and no candidate has ever put a site together like this before? Why? Why? That really talks to the issues in their minds and how they think. Why? That's a serious question. Why is it that candidates are not shooting straight with us? Who are they really working for? Well, tear my mind apart, because my mind works for you, and it's a smart mind. So let's let that work. Let's let that mind work for us. And it's an honest mind, a loving mind. He doesn't want to hurt you. I do not want to hurt you. I just want this. I want my own life to be better. I love me. I love me the most. I love me so much so then I can have all that power to love everyone else too. And why do we have to love ourselves? And even first and foremost, because that shows the appreciation to our Creator, the faith that we have in that He exists. And it shows that we can actually, in our own minds, love ourselves first. You can't be powerful enough to be. You want to be like the happy healer? You got to love yourself first. So then you can build that power up so you can love everyone else way more than, they would assume you must love them more than anything, because the God's honest truth is you love them more than anybody else has ever loved them. And so that's what it's like being a happy healer. And you just continuously show that. You're not worried about shame. We bask in humility. That's God's gift to us. We love humility. Humility is a great thing. And then you wonder how I can come out and do what I do. I wonder why you're not doing it. It's such a great life. And so that's the kind of world that we're building. And we have to be prepared to just let go of the hate. All right, so on the issues, this is a very serious tab. This is where I'm to be held account to doing some big things for America. Okay? Go in there. Get used to it. Read it often. And things change. Contact us. I don't have a lot there right now, but we will. Donate now. Please help the campaign. We could use the help. When you click on more, 24-hour campaign broadcasts. These are all the different live broadcasts that we have been doing And you can go back and see those. And it's the latest one we had just done. So if you ever can't find the latest one, or if you ever want to know, okay, hey, I want to get to the program right now, just go to the website. It's the easiest thing. You guys search all over for hours trying to find me, and all you need to do is go to www.happyhealerforpresident.com, and you're there. And you're there. And yet you're searching and searching. So don't make it harder. Don't search all in Facebook for it. It's right here. And the site is going to continue to grow and do great. It's just that kind of campaign that we're always going to be reaching out and making new goals. This is our roadmap. Specific, realistic goals for improved results. This is to say, I have goals right now. We'll continue to always have goals moving into the future, and that is what running for president should be. If I had my way, I want to change the way America runs for president, because right now, people that are getting in there, they're not telling us who they are. They get in with too many secrets. They need to be more exposed. You need to know you need to know who you're voting for. Man, is there any measure that I'm not the only real qualified candidate? You tell me. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless.